So before we get started, I've got to figure out who needs to be muted. Somebody's having a conversation and some other stuff. Okay. Sounds like that person is muted. So I'll get started. Actually, someone is not muted, but for some reason I'm not able to determine who it is. Normally I can.
Are we muted?
No.
I think
only because I'm hearing a conversation in the background.
it's Don Patriarca. They need to mute their call.
Okay, I see that now. Thank you, and they just did. Thank you,
Okay.
Ms. LaRue.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending ABRA's roll call hearings being conducted via the WebEx platform. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearings as the board's agent. There are two cases on the calendar today. The first case is Tom's Watch Bar, case number 23PRO00046, TWB DC Chinatown, LLC, 781 7th Street Northwest, license number ABRA 119403. This is retailer class CR, substantial change, entertainment, endorsement inside only. And the protest issues are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet. Is anyone present on behalf of the applicant?
Yes, I am Andrew Klein from the Veritas Law Firm.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. If you would spell your name for the record, please.
Of course, Andrew, ANDREW, Klein, KLINE.
And Mr. Klein, would you spell Veritas?
Sure. V as in Victor, ERI, T as in Tom, AS.
Thank you. Anyone present on behalf of there's a group of five?
Good morning, this is Michelle LaRue for Residences at Gallery Place condominium, and we do have a group of 5 or more who are present.
Mr. LaRue, could you spell your name for the record, please?
Sure. Michelle, MICHELLE. Last name is LaRue, LA, capital RUE.
And you said there's some other individuals present from the group today?
Correct.
Okay, you can
Yes.
start by stating your name and spelling it for the record.
Okay, we have Mr. Howard Marks, HOWARD. Last name RKF.
Mr. LaRue, if you would like, they can state their names and spell them if you prefer.
And
The next person? Anyone else?
I'll go. This is Lillian Lane, LILL.
third person,
IAN.
Gavin.
Lane, LAN.
Can you hear me?
Can I hear who? Miss Lane? Is that you asking if I can hear you?
That was Michelle.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, so
Can you
just
hear
for the
me?
court reporter for clarity, Lillian Lane just introduced herself. She's a part of the group of 5 being represented by Michelle LaRue, and she spelled her name LILLIAN right, Miss Lane?
Correct.
Thank you. Anyone else present from the group?
I'll speak. Barbara Wanchisen, BARBARA, WANCHISEN.
Anybody else?
Yes,
Okay, Donato Patriarca, D-O-N-A-T as in Tom, O, P as in Peter, A-T as in Tom, R-I-A-R-C-A, and my wife Linda, Linda, P as in Peter, A-T as in Tom, R-I-A-R-C-A.
And you both signed the protest letter?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll
Anyone
go
else?
next. Yep.
Okay.
Kaylee Palangian. Kaylee, K-A-L-E-Y. Palangian, P-A-L-A-N-J-I-A-N.
Thank you, Ms. Pelagian. Anybody else? Okay. Ms. LaRue. Oh, Ms. LaRue, I see your hand raised. Were you gonna say something? Ms. LaRue was about to say that she was having some difficulty. I'm gonna go ahead and say what,
I think she was moving spaces to try and get a better signal, so she may come back in a second. It
okay.
looked like she was walking around.
Well, I don't know if she can hear me or not, but I'll say this. This is for everyone's benefit. There are a couple things. The protest letter in this case refers to an association on numerous occasions. I just want to clarify that associations do not have standing as protestants. And in the event that Ms. LaRue's intention was to file a protest on behalf of the association, an association does not have standing as a protestant. Let me give you the name of the association for the record. Second. The name of the association is the Residences of Gallery Place Condominium Unit Owners Association. I am dismissing the protest filed by the association because it appears that that's what was the intention in the protest letter. There were a number of individuals that also signed the protest letter. So I'm going to, I was going to ask Ms. LaRue if the intention was for these individuals to also file a protest. Is there any individual here that can clarify that the intention was for the protest to be filed on behalf of a group of individuals?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Howard Marks. I'm one of the 5 protestants. The petition was filed on behalf of the group of 5. They're all present on this call. Thank you.
Thank you. 1 second. Let me count the number of people present. There are 6 individuals present from your group today. Therefore, the group of individuals is granted standing as a protesting group. I will send Ms. LaRue an email letting her know what transpired. I don't know if she can hear me or not. I see her name still, but I don't know if she can hear me. We need to set a date for mediation, a status hearing, and a protest hearing. I'll give you the date for the status and protest hearing first. The status hearing is scheduled for June 28th at 10:30 a.m. It's June 28th at 10:30. The protest hearing is set for August the 9th. One second. August the 9th at 1:30 p.m. I will give you the next available day for mediation.
Ms. Fletcher, before you do that, I want to raise this, and I'll probably have to work it out with Ms. LaRue offline, which is there's a pending renewal protest there have been discussions about consolidating them. And I'm just raising that. Ms. LaRue is apparently currently incommunicado with some technical difficulties, but I'll get with her, and if appropriate, we'll file a consent motion to consolidate. I don't think if it's efficient for these two matters to proceed independently. But given that there is counsel, and I know that there are individual protestants on, I'll just wait and talk to her about that. We have had some meetings with respect to the renewal. I think we're making some progress. I would suggest that we not have the earliest mediation date, that we probably have a later mediation date, so that we can continue to explore what we've been doing and also make a determination as to whether the two cases will be consolidated.
Okay, Mr. Klein, I will do that. And let's see, am I hearing my own echo? I am hearing my own echo. And I don't know why. Anyway.
Excuse me, it looks like Michelle came back on a different logo there, see?
Oh, who, anytime you speak, I'm sorry, you got to say who you are. Was
I
that Ms.
apologize.
Wanchison?
Barbara, yeah, Barbara Wanchison. So I see Michelle Rue has shown up in a different quadrant, a different little thing, so maybe.
Okay, Ms. LaRue, I see you twice now, but can you hear me? Mr. Klein, I'm aware of the case you're talking about. We had mediation related to the license renewal, and the resolution of the license renewal was contingent upon the resolution of the substantial change. Is that right?
I mean, the issues are related and similar, and it seems to me to make sense to treat them concurrently.
Well, then I will give you the date available for mediation is closest to the status hearing. Let's see. The status hearing is on June 28th. So what about June 20 for the mediation?
Can you hear me? This is Michelle.
I do.
Yes.
Michelle,
Sorry.
I see. There you are. I see you.
I'm having some technical difficulties this morning. Apologize.
Were you able to hear anything?
I lost you when I started introducing the 5 that were present this morning.
So, Ms. LaRue, you and I are having echoes in our background. Let's see.
This is Barbara again. Michelle, can you delete your initial login? Because I think maybe you're the cause of the echo, no offense.
I don't know how to do that because now I'm on my phone.
I think we can proceed. If you can't.
Okay, let me see.
I think Ms. Fletcher as the host should be able to remove people, so you can probably remove them.
Not at this time. I actually can't.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I can. Ms. LaRue.
Yes, ma'am. I'm having a taken myself out of the meeting, but it's coming off of this app.
Were you able to hear me say that the was granted standing?
Oh, yes, thank you.
And that the association is not.
What's not?
The association, the protest said that The association was protest. A condo association does not have standing as a protestant, but because there were at least five individuals that signed the protest standing was granted to the group of five or more.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, but you can't understand a
We're
word.
having-
You can't understand a
we're
word.
having-
Excuse me, okay, hold on a minute. I don't know who's speaking now. Who's speaking?
I, Linda Patriarch. You're muted me again. Excuse me.
it's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When you ladies are speaking, when I'm speaking, there's a double echo. And it's very, I can't hear, we can't understand a word.
Ms. Patriarca, what were you saying?
I said, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so now it seems to be better, but when you ladies were speaking, everything was a double echo and nothing was coming through clearly. It was not, clear at all, unintelligible. So I think now maybe the problem is solved. Let's try it.
Thank you, Kaylee,
Okay, let's try.
for your message in the chat. So, Ms. Patriarca, the group of individuals were granted standing as a protestant. You are part of a group of at least five.
Yes.
Yes.
That group was granted standing as a protestant.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you have any other question, Ms. Patriarca?
No, now that I can hear clearly. No, now that I can hear clearly, everything's okay.
Okay. What I was about to do was to set a date for a mediation, but I'll repeat the date of the status and protest hearing before I do that in case there was too much of an echo going on. The status hearing is scheduled for June 28, 2023 at 10:30. The protest hearing is scheduled for August 9 at 1:30. I proposed the date for mediation of June 20.
This is Michelle LaRue speaking. I'm actually out of town that week. I'm on vacation.
What about,
I could do the
oh,
following.
I don't know if you were able to hear Ms. LaRue, but Mr. Klein suggested that we set the mediation out as far as possible to give you an opportunity to resolve the license renewal issue.
Okay. Can we
And
do it
the
the week after?
The week after will be beyond the status hearing,
Oh.
and the board would prefer for the mediation to take place
yes.
prior to that. But how about Friday, June 16? When did you say, when are you out?
I'm out 17th to the 24th, so the 16th would work for me.
Well, that's a Friday. The 16th, we could do it then if that works for everybody, for Ms. LaRue and Mr. Klein.
I could do that. June 16th.
Yes.
Thank you, Andrew.
Sure.
What about,
I'm hoping we won't have to do it, Michelle.
Exactly. I agree.
well, anytime between 10:30 and 1?
Anything works for me.
Have a preference, Andrew?
About 11.
11. Mediation is set for June 16 at 11.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And Michelle, I had flagged that we may be filing a consent motion to consolidate this with the renewal, but you and I can talk about that offline and figure out how we
Perfect.
want to handle it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank everybody for coming in. The roll call hearing in the matter of Tom's Watch Bar is concluded.
Thank you. And again, sorry for the
Oh,
issue.
that's okay. It happens. I'm still hearing an echo. I'm in and out.
All right, I'm
Glad
off.
you can make it back. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Okay, you're welcome, Andrew.
Thanks a lot, everyone on the call. Thank you.
Welcome. The next case on the calendar is ABRA, case number 23PRO00047, 1547, 7th. Actually, it's 1547 through 1549, 7th Street Northwest. License number ABRA 100804. This is a retailer class CR license renewal. The protest issues are adverse impact on peace, order, and quiet. My name is Laverne Fletcher, conducting the roll call hearing as the board's agent. Is anyone present on behalf of ABRA?
Yes, good morning. Andrew Klein, ANDREW Klein, KLINE, with the Veritas Law Firm, Veritas, V as in Victor, ERI, T as in Tom, AS Law Firm. On behalf of the applicant, joining me is my associate Cameron Mixon, MIXON, Cameron, CAMERON, and he's joined by phone.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Anyone present on behalf of ANC2G?
Yes, Ms. Fletcher, this is Alexander M. Padro, ALEXANDER, Mr. Michael Padro, PADO, Chair of Advisory Committee, G as a Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Padro. I don't know why we're still having a lot of echoes here, but I think we'll be able to get through it because we're just about done. ANC2G does have standing as a protestant. We need to set a date for a status hearing, protest hearing, and a mediation.
Fletcher, this is probably an issue that I'll have to raise with the board. But we're a little puzzled as to why we're here and why this application was placarded. This was an application that was approved under 405.1. The licensee did not operate during the last license period. So we're a little confused as to what it is would be the issues here, given that this licensee never operated. And I understand you don't have the authority to deal with that issue at this point, but I raise it preliminarily to preserve it, and we're going to look at it, and then if appropriate, we'll file a motion. I think we've got a few of these cases, and I've raised it with the agency, and I just do not understand why these applications were placarded when they did not operate and their licenses were not issued until after the renewal deadline. It's baffling to me as to how that happened.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Any response to that, Mr. Padro?
The license is due for renewal. This is, again, as indicated, one of citywide scores of licenses that fall into the same category. Commission and residential neighbors have concerns about the operation. They are currently operating. So, and there is also another matter that will be coming for of a substantial change in consultation with council. We agreed that the commission would protest and consolidate two maps.
Mr. Klein, were you able to understand any of that?
Enough of it, and because I know the background, I know what was being said. But yeah, we are having some severe technical difficulties today.
You're the only person that's not echoing.
Well, good. At least the old guys got it right, huh? So yeah, I mean, Mr. Padre is correct that there's also substantial change pending. So been discussions about consolidating those, and we work well with Mr. Padro. I mean, this is not about Mr. Padro or his ANC or anything else. It's just a procedural issue that is probably is not going to be terribly relevant here because we do have the concurrent request for substantial change, but it's baffling nonetheless, and there are a number of cases that are in the same boat. And we think going forward, this probably should get fixed in some way.
Well, thank you, Mr. Klein. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that at all. What I'll do is, I'll go ahead, I made a note of that and I'll pass this information along. That you're gonna be contacting the board regarding this issue, Mr. Klein. And I
Yeah,
will.
I mean, I suspect I have to file a motion because I've raised it repeatedly with Mr. Musali, Ms. Jenkins, and Sean Gordy, the licensing director, with promises that someone was going to get back to me, but that has not happened at this point. Because as I said, we have several of these cases, and it really doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I have made a note of that, and I'm going to go ahead and give you some dates just because
Sure.
to you because it's roll call, and the dates are as follows. The status hearing is set for June 28th at 10:30.
I'm sorry, Ms. Fletcher, I couldn't hear that date because of the
June 28th at 10:30.
That's for mediation?
That's for the status hearing.
Oh, that's for the status.
Mr. Padre, were you able to get that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The protest hearing, August 9. At 1:30. Let's see, so I'm thinking we should also set this mediation out closer to the status hearing in case it's resolved prior to then.
Sure.
What about Friday, June 23rd? Actually, it can be Friday, June 23rd, or Monday, June 26th.
I'd rather do Monday. As a rule, I don't do Fridays in the summer, although I made an exception in the last case.
I'll try to remember that, Mr. Klein.
And I concur with Mr. Klein's request because I have conflicts.
Okay. Well, we can do it Monday at 11:30 or 1:30.
Mr. Klein, do you have a preference?
No, I don't care. Well, let's do 1:30.
Okay.
Standing meeting at 11:30, then I won't need to change it.
Well, then, in that case, mediation is set for June 26th at 1:30. Okay, we got through it somehow. Unless there are any questions, the roll call hearing is concluded.
Thank you. Thank you both.
And hanging in there with all this echo. Okay, I'll sign off now. Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. Bye, Mr. Padre.